I didn't want to be babied anymore. I didn't want like someone to have to give me success or to go, well done, you've invested your money or you've supported us and so here's your share, or something like that. I just felt like I had to disconnect myself completely from the whole family and go on my own path and create my own success. Look who it is, taking action again. Yes, you are tuning into another episode on the Luke Mind Power podcast, and you are taking more action to invest in yourself, to feed your mind with positive inspiration, motivation, and information so that you can continue to keep growing and moving forward in your life. And I'm so grateful that I'm here with you and that you actually find so much value in the Luke Mind Power podcast and joining me on these episodes. It really is a journey, and I'm really learning a lot more about myself and about happiness in life and about the process, about trusting the process. And geez, I think one of the biggest lessons is realizing that you don't manifest what you want straight away. Nothing what you want to achieve just happens out of the blue. You got to be in it for the long haul. Whatever you're looking at achieving, whether it's attracting a healthy relationship or whether it's becoming a better version of yourself, losing weight, having a positive mindset, filling yourself up with self-love and building a stronger, loving relationship with yourself, or building a business, or whatever that is, it takes time. Great things take time. Greatness is something that we all have, but in order for us to actually extract that, it's a process. If you don't feel your greatness yet, you don't feel the power that you have within yourself, that's because it takes time for you to bring that out. And that requires work. But getting here to this point in my life, a couple of days, by the time you listen to this, I'll already be in Dubai. But, I've been in Poland now for nearly 3 months or so, May, June, July. Yeah, wow. It's just freaking boom, like that. And what can I say? I mean, Poland has definitely opened my eyes. I've been here before, but living here is something else. Cost of living is very, very affordable. I really do enjoy the culture. I enjoy, I guess I don't enjoy not knowing how to speak fluently, because I can speak, but then I get stuck with some words. But the fact that I'm here in this environment is really powerful because it gets me out of my comfort zone and I'm forced to communicate and I'm forced to say, I don't know what that means. What does that mean? So I don't have a choice but to try and work out what someone is saying to me if I don't understand, and I think that's, if you want to learn any language, or you go to that country where they speak that language. It's the best way. I mean, I remember when I was getting married in 2012, when I was going to marry a Colombian woman or girl, and I was like so in love at that time that I was like, man, I got to learn Spanish. So what I do before I was leaving to go to Colombia to get married, and if many of you haven't heard my story, I was going to get married. Didn't happen though. But what did I do? I enrolled myself into Spanish speaking classes in Sydney, in Australia. So before I went to Colombia, I was already learning the language because I was like, I want to like be prepared a little bit because I know her parents are probably going to speak Spanish and stuff like that. So I took the time to invest in myself to learn. But when I was living there, when I stayed there in Colombia, because I went a couple of times, and it's just crazy what love does, eh? Like love is powerful, man. Like when you connected with someone, you're willing to travel, go above and beyond to make it come true. You know what I mean? Like I remember traveling. We weren't even like married yet, but we hadn't seen her, and I needed to see her. I wanted to see her, so I traveled to freaking Bogota to Colombia for like literally. She was working there at the time, and I literally stayed with her for like 3 or 4 days just to spend time with her. And it was just young and doing what I thought was right. And even though I couldn't speak the language, I still went to the gym there, walked around the streets, but I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel safe back then. That was 2012. I know Colombia has definitely changed a lot now. A lot, it's probably a lot different, probably safer, probably more, just like Poland. When I first came to Poland, 2004, it was like not like it is right now. Like even my cousins, like I used to have a thick gold chain, and when I went to visit my cousins and I was staying there, they're like, when you walk out, make sure you take your chain off because people steal it from you. They'll try and rob you and stuff. So at that time, 20 years ago, it still wasn't as safe. And most likely Colombia was the same thing. You still see when I was there in Bogota, there was a lot of people on the streets busking or trying to ask for money and all that kind of stuff. So you could tell there was a lot of poverty going on. But where was I going with this? So where was I going with this whole story about relationships? Completely lost my train of thought. But yeah, so I didn't. I think it was something to do with like I wasn't. Yeah, I just went through this experience of thinking I was going to get married, and yeah, so Poland, like learning the language. You know what I mean? Like when I was living in Colombia, I did pick up the Spanish language very quickly because it's very similar to English. Like there's so many similarities. Like you hear people talking, you're like, oh, that's the same word, but it's just said differently. But you can hear it; it's the same thing. Sí, claro. And so, yeah, me llamo Lucas. ¿Cómo está? Bien. What else do I know in Spanish? Mucho gusto. And para mí, un café con leche y un azúcar with one sugar, right? Slowly, man. I mean, yeah. So being here in Poland, it's showing me as well out of my comfort zone. Like even going to the petrol station, to get gas, like in your mind, you're like, oh, where's the petrol pump? Where is it? Is it the same? What if you can't understand which petrol it is? But it's like it's all mental. Everything is in your mind. It's like it's not even hard. It's easy. So Poland is still, a little bit out of my comfort zone because I'm still getting used to it. But I'm liking the fact that I am forced to learn. I am forced to communicate in Polish, which is getting me out of my comfort zone, which is teaching me. And I'm definitely speaking a lot better in Polish than I used to. And this definitely was a dream. 2018, when my grandmother passed away, I said, I want to move to Poland and I want to live here. But at the time, the possibility of living here and making good money and having a good lifestyle was not possible. So it took me 6.5 years to build my business for me to be able to live here in an affordable way where I'm good. I'm not like working in a job that I don't like working in, and dreading waking up in the morning going, oh my God, I need to go work 12 hours at this freaking warehouse or some shit like that. I work from home. I pretty much live in a village. Weird, eh? What the is Luke Mindpower doing living in a village? But I am looking forward to going back to Dubai, meeting some of my amazing network of people that I know in Dubai and spending some time there because it's a very, very powerful, affluent environment, which is very mentally stimulating and it's a very successful environment. So I always tell you guys, with whom you surround yourself is whom you become. Surround yourself with success and greatness, and that's what you'll become as well. Right? Its energy is contagious. But the beautiful thing about life is find the balance, man. Find the balance in your life. So, for example, I've been here in Poland for 3 months. It's beautiful outside. There's nature, the trees, like it's a village. It's quiet. There's no high-rise buildings and all this shit. And then you go to Dubai, and Dubai is like full on, man. Like it's shopping malls and high rises and Rolls Royces and Ferraris and all this shit. You know what I mean? Rolexes and Louis Vuittons and Christian Dior's and Gucci's and all this shit, right? So it's very different, but it's good to have a change. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm finding is have that balance. You know what I mean? And I guess not everybody gets the chance to move around, but I mean, once upon a time when I used to, like I mentioned before, used to look around at people on social media and go, laptop lifestyle, is that even possible? So I'm very, very blessed. But let's debunk that a little bit. I'm very, very blessed to be where I'm at right now, to be able to travel, work from wherever I want, help people change their lives. I can say that I'm blessed, but the thing is, I'm the one that created the blessing. I'm the one that took action. People can say, "Oh, you're blessed, you're blessed, you're blessed." It's like, yeah, but I didn't just get the blessings from nowhere. They didn't come out of thin air and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I'm blessed. It's like, nah, man, I had to get out of my comfort zone. I had to let go of things that weren't serving me anymore. I had to invest in my personal development and communication skills. I had to work on myself. I had to invest in a business coach. I had to start my own business. I had to create my own coaching programs. I had to build my social media platforms. Like all this is part of taking action, doing the work. No one's going to do it for you. And many of us really do want a bit more handouts. And it's like, it's not satisfying anyway. You don't want handouts. You don't want someone going, here you go, there's your success, you know? And I think that's what drove me and motivated as well, because my brother-in-law, one of my brother-in-laws was a very big inspiration in terms of business, and he inspired me a lot with like his success. And so I was definitely close to him because I really deeply believed that if I'd stay close to him, he would help. It was a different mindset. It was not he would help me become successful, but I almost kind of felt like if I stayed close to him, that I would then make more money. Like he would give me more money, or I don't know, some shit like that. You know, I wasn't thinking like, oh, he's just going to give me $100,000 or some shit like that. But I just believed that I just had this connection there where I was just like, if I stay close to him, I'll be successful, which isn't wrong, because what happened more so is that I just kind of realized that I had to do it on my own. I learned so much from him and my other brother-in-law as well. You know, like they had big impacts in my life in different ways. But I just had this thing within myself where I didn't want to be babied anymore. I didn't want like someone to have to give me success or to go, you know, well done, you know, you've invested your money or you've supported us, and so here's your share, you know, or something like that. I just felt like I had to disconnect myself completely from the whole family and go on my own path and create my own success. And that's basically what really fuels me right now. This is what keeps me feeling fulfilled, because I did this. I didn't sponge off anyone. I learned. I'm inspired by people around me that are successful and that have taken the journey and that have grown, and whether it's businesses or families or whatever. Like I've learned, I'm being inspired, but I've had to take my own initiative, had to take action for myself, and look what I've done. You know what I mean? So yeah, you can sit here and go, oh, I didn't like school, don't like reading, dyslexia, you know, couldn't focus or had problems paying attention in class at school, and compared myself to everybody else, felt very insecure within myself, you know, was very self-conscious of my physical appearance, got rejected 50,000 times by girls, never could attract the right person into my life, and so I'm a dumbass. Compare myself to other people. Life is working out for them. It's not working out for me. Why is this happening? And it's like, well, it happens on purpose. It happened for a reason. All of these situations and experiences were leading me back to myself, where I became my own rescue. And so you got to realize that in your life, that a lot of the times these circumstances are not going to be ideal, and they're not going to be what you want them to be, and they're not going to work out the way that they're supposed to, that you think they're supposed to, of how it's supposed to. It's not supposed to, it's just is. And it's up to you to have a good mindset to go, man, there's a bigger teaching here. There's a bigger lesson here. I'm just not seeing it yet, but I've got to trust the process, but I've got to make better decisions in my life. But maybe there's some lessons that I need to go through and learn before I choose a different path, before I get to where I need to be, before I start understanding the bigger, greater picture of what is really going on. And there's still some unanswered questions for me, but that's the whole purpose. You don't give up. You don't freaking sit here and go, well, I haven't achieved this, I haven't achieved that, or haven't got this yet, or haven't had a family yet, or whatever that shit. And it's like, well, I'm a failure. No, man, look at all the good things you're doing. Be grateful, be positive, have a positive mindset. So many of us just complain too much, and it's like, well, what are you going to do about it? And if you're doing something about what you're complaining about, then shut your mouth. You know what I mean? You should be sitting there going, oh, I don't have this, I don't have this, or that. And no, it's like, no, what are you doing about it? What are you doing about your problem? What are you doing about your situation? What are you doing about the way that you feel? Are you doing anything on yourself? Are you working on yourself? You're feeding your mind with positive information or motivation. What are you doing? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What kind of situations and circumstances have brought you to where you are now? Maybe this is what you need to go through right now. So again, everything is perspective, everything is mindset. And once you change the way you think, your mindset is powerful, man. So, and it's just amazing to know that like you can create your own reality, but it's just the process of doing it is where I've gotten to a real peaceful place of like, man, I'm not in a hurry. It's all in God's timing. It's the universe has your back. You know what I mean? Like it's everything is working in accordance with the greater plan, you know. And what's the greater plan? I don't know. I'm just trusting, because life is a freaking journey, and the happiness that you create is what you manifest every day. It's what you choose, your decisions. it really isn't a destination. It's that, like, what are you going to do today that you enjoy? What are you going to work on today that you want to build? Who are you going to surround yourself with that you know that adds value to your life? I'm all right, eh? Sometimes I say some good stuff. Nah, but for real, I appreciate you all. Thanks for joining me for another podcast episode and for another rant or whatever you want to call it. This bloke screaming his head off and shit. Because I know some people probably listen to this, go, what the fuck is this guy on, man? He's just going off. He's yelling all the time. But I'm glad that I inspire you. I'm glad that you're tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. I can't wait to see you guys in London at the 2nd of November. Make sure you get your tickets. They're on my website. If you go to my website, you can find them, or just go on any of my social media platforms. You'll see that there's a link in the bio that you'll be able to click on the link and get your tickets. Make sure you're getting fast, though, because it will sell out. But it's going to be an amazing event. If you can't join us in person, make sure you get virtual live stream tickets, because there will be virtual access as well, which is going to be phenomenal. I can't wait for that. And if you are listening to this on the Apple Podcast platform or Spotify, make sure you leave me a 5-star rating and a review. I really appreciate that, especially on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. Hit the stars, give me 5 stars. Really means a lot to me, and it helps me to reach more people as well. Anyway, I'll see you on the next episode, guys. I love you. Peace out. Don't give up. Keep going. And remember that you're freaking amazing. Talk soon.